Hey guys, how you doing? This is Bangor, etc. I'm here to explain the review from Fairy Tail Manga chapter 526. So I'm going to start off with everything with Zarif, Natsu, and Rakid. So we basically find out that Rakid is not, in fact, Zarif's son, and the only reason why he's Rakid Dragonil is because he was another book from he was another demon, sorry, from the book of Zarif. He was like a failed attempt to recreate Natsu, probably the best attempt before Natsu himself. Zarif thought he was worthy of the name Dragnil, so therefore he became a key Dragnil. And so I got to lay off some slack to Zarif because last chapter review I was probably saying he's a bad father for killing his son. That's probably saying something on the lines of that's pretty far, that's pretty deep. How dare you go to them lengths? But it's not his son, so I gotta say sorry, Zarif. Do your thing, kill him if you kill him if you please. So I'm not sure if he's dead quite yet, but Zarif has left him on death's door and his back goes to Natsu's like, let's carry on, let's continue what we was doing. The rest of the chapter is spent on Gildart's Canna and August finishing off their fight now. So it starts off with them going at it, throwing attack after attack, and it seems like August is going to end up with the upper hand. He does I don't know what he does. I think he just stabs him with his stick or something, and he pierces through Gildarts, and that's where Gildarts goes into a speech where he's talking about, "I will risk my life to save Kana if need be." So because we're back, because it started off with Gildart's Canna in August, then it flipped over to Zarif, and then we flipped back. So you leave off of that bit thinking, okay, Gildart's is going to sacrifice himself to defeat August. So that's the line of thought hours along. When we go back to them now, we find out that Gildart's has found the weakness to the magic that August has mainly. So then I had to raise my voice there for a bit second because it really should have been mainly using it's a copy magic and like super copy magic, whatever, where he can copy the magic of an opponent and therefore be immune to it. And we also find out while the chapter goes on that there's certain magics that he can't copy. And within the chapter, it says the main example of this is Canon's card magic that she's using. He says hold, you can't copy Holder's magic. And I don't really understand what that means, but I'm guessing that he wouldn't be able to copy Lucy's celestial magic unless he was able to take the key from her. And I'm reckoning that he wouldn't be able to copy Dragon Slayer magic because first gens, I reckon they're able of Dragon Slayer magic because they have their seed within them, and second gens because they have the Dragon Lacma with them. So I'm guessing he wouldn't be able to copy Dragon Slayer magic as well. We probably won't find out the legitimate answer for that because even though we don't see him KO, we got the double panel of Girl that's doing his final attack. So I'm guessing that he is now KO. So because Goldox was able to figure out the weakness to this magic, he then goes in for the KO. And my problem with that, I'm not surprised that this happened at all. But my problem with it is that it's been said time and time again that August is capable of multiple magics. Multiple, plural, more than one. So when they figured out the weakness to this magic, he should have hopped into a different magic. Should have hopped into a different magic and given them more trouble. There's not a member of the 12 Spraggan who I felt has done the name of 12 Spraggan justice. Not one. Even if, yeah, so he should have hopped into another magic. That's just the way I see it. And even if he couldn't hop into another magic, because he really that weak? Yeah, I know man's older than that, but in realistic terms, he should have kicked the bucket ages ago. But in anime terms, he should be like still strong, still good to go, be able to take more than one hit. Oh gosh, another one hit KO. So is that really what? Yeah, come on, come on. Your power scaling is all over the place. It's messy. It's mess. It's really, really messy. One, I suppose the best thing about this chapter is that little surprise twist at the end where we find out that Mavis and Zarif's legitimate child actually turns out to be August. That was the surprise. That was the surprise. That was the best bit of the chapter. So we're not going to find out because I really want to know. And because August has been wrapped up within this chapter, I mean, you know, his part in the story is probably done after this chapter. We might see him next chapter KO'd on the floor. But his story, his development or whatever, full fairy tale is done now. You probably won't find out the answer to this question. I want to know when August went to here, when he ended up in Mavis's womb. We know for some reason the second got it out. We know that he abandoned it because he didn't know what to do. He should kill it or let it live. So he abandoned it. We know he had a childhood. We know he had an adulthood. We know he just got KO'd by Gildarts. But most importantly, I want to know when this happened. I want to know when Zarif put his seed inside Mavis. And we probably won't find out that information. So yeah, we've known that was a surprise twist, a nice twist at the end, where we find out how. So, like I said, he was born. The second didn't know what to. Second fairy tale master didn't know what to do with him, so he abandoned him. He lived his life, August. He lived his life stealing, just fighting. Eventually, one day he meets Zarif. He doesn't tell Zarif because he thought he held some memory because he had great magical power. So he retains his memories. He knew whose mummy and daddy was. But once he meets up with Zarif, he felt the need to not tell him. Now, that's stupid. No, that's not stupid. You could have a reason for that. But the whole reason where last chapter, and I think he said it again in this chapter when he was going on about how come I weren't loved, when he said His Majesty's son, when he's referring to himself, he's like, how come I weren't loved? Because no one knew you was born. No one knew. You could have told Zarif, you could have told Daddy, and then maybe he would have showed you some love. Mavis probably didn't have the chance to find out. Probably. I don't know how you can be pregnant and not know it. But yeah, so yeah, Mavis didn't have a chance to love you, August. But you could have told Zarif and he could have loved you. So him having this little rant, how come I weren't loved? How come I weren't loved? Stupid. Legitimately stupid. That's everything I got to say about this chapter. It was a standard fairy tale chapter, the villain, member to us back in August. He got defeated in the usual standard fairy tale way. We're so far into fairy tale. This is the last arc. I can't complain. I just want to know how it ends. So if you consider this a rant, then I've ranted enough. But I'm not gonna rant. So yeah, 3-star rating. Call it a review. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.